Drove out this time. Last couple times I flew, but there's no air traffic controllers right now. So I'm like, why don't we just drive? It's 5 hours from San Diego, and the streetlights still work, so let's just go with that. No air traffic controllers. No one going, yeah, bring it in, or definitely don't. And there's still flights. That's how you know this country runs on money. There is no one in charge of go or stop, and they're like, yeah, but let's see if we can still. I bet you I could still land it. And the CEO of Delta's like, please try. We have shareholders and hedge funds we gotta please, and we're just on these flights. Oh my God. That's terrifying. I gotta fly next week. I hope they figure it out by next week. Oh, this is great. I'm so happy to be here at the mall. This is awesome. No matter what it is, like, my career will find the least cool place to have this show. Hey, you're in Las Vegas, Sin City, home of everything. How about this mall near the airport? There's a mall near the airport that the locals go to. How about that? And I love this club. This club used to have 2 locations. They had one in the Arts District, which is the one I used to do, and which is this is beautiful too. But that place was cool too. It was like small, it was intimate, and it was in the Arts District, so it was kind of sketchy, you know. Like it was like during the day you're like, this is fun. Let's go to that vintage store or whatever, and then at night you're like, where's the pepper spray? You know, they just come out of the woodwork. And you're like, that guy wasn't here during the daylight. Where did that guy come from? But yeah, it was dangerous. It was fun. I remember there was a fight the last time. I don't know if anyone was here the last time I was here, but one of those shows, I was doing the meet and greet, and like a fight broke out right outside the comedy club. And then I just saw the big bouncer just run out there, and he comes back in, and then someone was like, you should get out of here. There's a fight. And I'm like, okay. And I got whisked away like a queen of some description. Just, oh, we must save Zoltan. I'm like, you must save me. And then I came back, and there was just blood all in front of the club. It was a serious little back and forth that went on. And the bouncer came back, and I was like, was anyone hurt? And he's like, I'm fine. And I was like, wow. That's why I like I like the Strip, but that's like fancy. That's for like the photos, you know? That's the prom photo of Las Vegas is, you know, but I like going to downtown Vegas, the old Vegas where it's just like, yeah, we could get stabbed here. Like, it's dangerous, but it's not dangerous, but it's dangerous, you know? It's like if they made a musical of Danger. But a little closer than a musical of Danger. But also you're like, look at that guy, you know? And then you're sitting there with him, you're gambling, and you're like, right? And they're like, we'll kill you. And I just like that little bit. I don't know. It's exciting. It's exciting. I don't know. I enjoy it very much. And we drove. Oh, thank you so much. It's very kind of you. Yeah, you don't hear that at the mall all the time. Just a voice in the back. We love you. And you're like, nice. Wouldn't that be great? You're at H&M, you're trying on some pants, and it doesn't fit, and someone's like, we love you though. And you're like, thank you. Thank you. That makes me feel better for the pants that don't fit. Wouldn't that just be great just to hear, you know? You're at the buffet, and you're like, I shouldn't have that cake. Just some you don't know in the back. We love you. And you're like, I will have that cake. Had a great time, man. My wife and I, we came in on Thursday. We drove in. We did that. We were going to fly. We live in San Diego, so you kind of have the option of the two. But then, you know, the government shut down. There's no air traffic controllers. I don't know if you've seen that on the news. And there's still flights taking off, and there's no one going. What a way to let us know this country is run on money. Like, what a way. It's like there's no one to tell the planes, is it good or not? And they're like, well, let's give it a shot. Like the CEO of Delta's like, we trust our pilots, get out there. And there's no one in the tower going, you are now clear for takeoff. It's just pilots going, what do you think? Should we run it? Let's go. And I'm like, I think we're going to drive. Which is not that much safer. That is, something happened. That drive is peaceful and dangerous it lulls you into a sense of everything's fine because it's straight for like 5 hours. You just set the cruise control, and then every once in a while, someone just has a death wish, and they just, and you're like, man. You know, I got passed by a U-Haul on the way out of here. You haven't been, not one of the small ones, like one of the bigger U-Hauls you can get. And I wasn't going slow. I had the cruise control set to like 82, 83. And this dude, like I was standing still in a full-size U-Haul. I'm like, man, to have that kind of confidence in a rented truck that you have all your belongings in the back of. What a way to let me know you own nothing valuable, that you are going 95 miles an hour in a rented U-Haul. None of this stuff means anything to me. But this is fun, man. We came out, we had shows last night. That was fun to come to through the rain. I don't know if you guys saw that rain. That was biblical, wasn't it? That was the most amount of rain I've ever seen all at the same time. We were staying over at the Aria. Our cab driver was scared. I thought those people had nothing to live for. This guy was terrified. We got in and I was like, is this normal? He's like, I've been here 11 years. I've never seen... And then before he took off, he did this. I'm like, I don't even think that's your religion. Like, what was... He was terrified. And I'm like, man, if there's ever a city where God's not going to help you, I think it might be Las Vegas. And it was scary to be in a cab where the cab driver's scared and he went through a puddle because from the Aria, all the casinos are like this. They pick you up here and then they loop you down and all the water puddled up. It was like whoosh and the water came up. I'm like, oh, and he went, and I'm like, dude, you're the captain of this ship. What are you doing? And I had like a thought in my head. I'm like, we might not make the show. We might not make the show. We're gonna be on the local news. You're like, why wasn't Zoltan at the show? And it's just video of me just hugging a firefighter being airlifted off the hood of a taxi cab. You're like, oh, that's where he was right there. I think it's rude that they film that, by the way. People get river rescued during a flat. That's rude. That's a private moment. How dare you? Just a man without pants holding on to just an out of shape man with no pants holding on to the most fit, beautiful firefighter. Help me, I am less than. And they just whip through the wind with your butt cheeks flapping in the breeze. That's rude. And then they put your name underneath. That's this man. If anyone recognizes those cheeks, take a look at that guy. It was a shame. But yeah, we came over today. Today was nicer. No weather. I missed the scared cab driver. We had this cab driver. He was fine, but he's just one of these cab drivers that was going to make you listen to Christian radio at a very high volume the entire time. And I'm not against Christianity. I'm not against God or anything, but Christian radio can turn off immediately. I'm into all that, but man, they can't buy a hit song, can they? How? They don't get it. You need more down to, like, Christian rock is all up here. And you're like, do you listen to any hit music? You gotta bring it down to bring it back up. We praise. And you're like, dude, can we buy a melody? Christian rock is like allergic to a hit the way I am to like dairy. Like they just can't process it or something. And I'm like, and he was just turning it up. And I think that was his way of trying to bring Lord into Vegas. He's like, well, I'm going to be a cab driver. And while I drop people off at strip clubs and stuff, I'm just going to turn that up. And I was like, I missed the scared guy. That was captaining Noah's Ark on the way to the comedy club. I missed that guy, man. We had fun, though. We came in on Thursday. We went to a magic show. That's what my wife and I did. We went to go see Shin Lim over at... you seen that show? It's really good. It's over at the Venetian, I believe. Really good. He does card tricks. And he's great, but I feel like I can only enjoy magic, like, surprised. Like, I need to be surprised like the tricks are. I need to just be sitting here and someone's like, hey, can I do card tricks for you? And you're like, what? I guess. And then they nail it, and you're like, wow. But it is weird when you're in a giant theater and he just comes out with his weird hair and he's like, is this your card? And everyone's like, oh my God. And I was like, I mean, yeah, it was $100 a ticket. That better be the card, dude. Like, I'd be shocked. It'd be more surprising if it wasn't the card. Quite honestly. Yeah, it was just so dramatic. Oh. He performs with his wife. I don't know if you know that. If you haven't seen the show, his wife does. She's a dancer. She comes down in a floating ring and just twirls. And Shin Lim's like, "That's my wife," and everyone's like, "Ah!" And my wife's like, "Oh my God, isn't that adorable? They get to work together every day." And I'm like, "Yeah, but that also means they get to work together every day." Like, they have to have bad days. All couples have arguments. You still got to go to work. Shin Lim's like, "That's my wife." But you still have that fight from 3 hours ago that never had a resolution in your head. And you're like, yeah, they just give each other dirty looks, probably. Like, "I haven't forgotten." As she's just spinning around. There's for sure drama there, you know. Yeah, we ended up seeing Shin Lim. We were between great show, by the way, if you want to go see some magic. Great show. We were between him and David Copperfield, and we ended up not seeing Copperfield because they had reviews online saying he was a little old, and like he's kind of fun. He's like in his 70s, I think. He's an older man. He's doing 2 shows a night. I don't know what kind of debt he's in or what, but this guy, he's just going out there. But in the reviews, they're like, he's a little long in the tooth. Like, he's like, it's not. What's that? Tiger? No, that's Siegfried and Roy. Yeah, I swear she was like, the tiger ate him. No. Siegfried and Roy, they're the other. The Siegfried and Roy are the gay magicians with the tiger, and David Copperfield's just a regular gay magician without a tiger. No tiger. Same way. The other ones had the tiger. David Copperfield had no tiger. I think that's why the reviews are low. I think people are like, "Where's the tiger?" And it's just David Copperfield. And they're like, he's a little, like, he's not putting the pizzazz in it. And after I read the reviews, I'm like, I don't kind of want to see David Copperfield. Like, don't you want to see, like, just a jaded magician just phoning it in? Just like, yeah, who'd have guessed? There it is. I got it right again. I mean, I've only been doing magic for 50 years. Of course, I nailed it. Next trick. Boom. Let's get out of here. Love to see a jaded magician. Yeah, the Shin Lim show opened with like a trick that was for the whole group, like the whole crowd. Everyone had a deck of cards. You know how everyone gets a deck of cards? And then you rip the deck of cards, and what do? You throw it over your shoulder. And Shin Lim was like, "Hey, don't throw it too hard because there's people behind you." There was a kid in front of us, and he, like a ninja star, just hit my wife in the eye. Right in the eye. She went, "Ah!" 2 minutes into the show. And you know when you get hit, you ever like are in pain and you yell stuff that doesn't make sense, but it's just what comes out? My wife's just like, "Ah! Who the hell brings a kid to a magic show?" That's what she said. And like, I felt bad for her because she got hit in the eye, but I was also like, well, yeah, I mean, but that's my wife. I have to have her back, so I gotta like be like, yeah, who brings a kid to a magic show? How dare you bring a child to a magic show? Should have seen David Copperfield. He's phoning it in. Yeah, no tiger. No tiger at David Copperfield. But no, it's been fun, man. I like coming to Vegas. I like the energy. I know, I'm assuming if you live here, you stay in the outskirts and you let the tourists come in and do whatever they do, which is probably for the best, you know. But it's fun. There's an energy there. It's just that, you know, after like a second Red Bull, you have that twitch. That's what the town feels like. You're like, I'm tired, but I'm also wired. Yeah, I want to read, but I want to talk at the same time. I want to read about what I'm talking about in the same line. Can we do that? Put it all on red. You know, it's just this energy.